everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to No Fronting, the podcast and Outrageous Tales' first ever crossover episode.
Crossover. Y'all know it's your girl AM with No Friend the Podcast, man. It's a crossover episode. Definitely want to thank Ray and Outrageous Tales for this opportunity for this joint venture. You know.
Okay, and it's my first time on camera, so I hope I look okay. I know my lashes, they real big and dramatic. They was hanging off on the edge, but
Now you know this ain't your first time on camera.
It's definitely not my first time on camera in any way, shape, form, or fashion, but it's my first time on camera in regards to a live podcast.
Yeah, no, mine too.
Okay. So again, thank you everyone, all of our listeners. Thank you for tuning in. Yeah. Bear with us as we push through this first episode.
Right.
So, AM, I do want my listeners to get to know you and vice versa.
Yeah.
So first and foremost, can you tell me or tell everyone a little bit about No Friend Podcast? And I just said earlier we're on season 2. So let us know a little bit about season 2 of your podcast.
Well, thank you. Yes. So season 2, we starting out with a crossover. Basically, No Friend the Podcast. It gives everybody a voice. Opportunity to shine. In this world, it's hard to have an outlet where you can voice, share your talents with the world. There's so many different ways to share it, but podcast radio is definitely a avenue I feel like a lot of people are taking advantage of now, and I want to give people a platform to come to my show and let everybody hear them and experience what they got to show the world. And I want everybody to get to know Ray too. So, and my show is all about shining, letting people shine. So Ray, let everybody know about you in season 2 as well.
Okay, so for those of you who don't know, I have a Christian-based podcast for all my Christian ratchets. For all my non-traditional Jesus whip, take me to the King, Pentecostal skirt wearing Christian.
Hallelujah.
Shabbat. It's Outrageous Tales is definitely a podcast for your non-traditional Christian. And basically what I do on my podcast is I retell Bible stories in today's terms, words, phrases. I tell it how it is. I feel like with our generation, a lot of people, they don't necessarily read the Bible because there's too many thou shalls and wills and thou shalt not do this and that. But what can we do? You know what I'm saying? So it's just a place for you to understand the Bible and your spirituality a little bit more on our level. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the best way to describe, I'll look at it as you make me want to go to church, because it's not about the normal, and not about the normal procedures that go on in church. You make it actually irrelevant to today, which is very important, because kids, and I'm not a kid, but people like me, we need it dumbed down and a little bit more focused to what I'm going through,
right.
And you already started your season. How is your season 2 going, man? You on my first episode, but you already got a little something going on your end.
So season 2 is going pretty well. We've already dropped a few episodes already. So season 2 is very fresh, a little sprinkle. Season 2 is definitely hitting the ground running. I kind of took a little break. I know you took a break too, so we're going to talk about these breaks that we went through. So I took a little break. Actually, I ran off on the plug, for real. Like,
yeah, I had to too, man.
I was just MIA. I was going through a little breakup. A B tried to break me, but you know what? I should. But I took a little break to get my mental health together, and like now I'm just back and better. I feel more like Raven. I feel like there was a season that I went through where I just wasn't feeling like myself. I just felt like somebody just in my body, So now I'm just You know what? Never mind. We ain't even going
Yeah,
right in the
you in a better place.
I'm probably in a better place. Ain't nobody in my
You
body
know,
at this point. So,
I feel you. I feel you. How I describe it is I'm in a better place.
I'm
I,
in a better place. Okay.
went through a lot, lost a little weight. Y'all know y'all added some tattoos.
Oh,
Things changed a little bit. That's a little some.
okay. So you
Took
lost a little weight during your break. You got some tats during your break, and what else?
and I've been peddling dreams.
Ooh,
Peddling
it's the
dreams.
pedaling dream. Period.
But dreams I've been peddling have been my own. Got a new
Okay.
place, new city. Still in Dallas, people. I haven't left. I haven't left Dallas. I'm just in a little smaller city, kind of a little ducked off. Not telling y'all where I live because people are crazy.
Okay, you're in the
Um,
suburbs. Let me find out.
the suburbs is real quiet. You can last season you might have heard some noise in the background. It's real isolated. Now
Ooh, she got money. She ducked off. Period.
yeah, I had like you said, I had to run off. I had to run off on a few plugs, a few people. Um,
Okay.
doing COVID. You know how it is. But again, better mind space. I'm excited for season two. I got a few new things for season two.
Okay, what you got? Let me hear it.
Okay, all right. So she asked for it, people. Here I go. So season two, we're gonna have some new segments. First segment is that ish weird. So basically, on this segment of that ish weird, we're going to talk about a topic that actually is the reason why we're having this crossover episode.
Okay.
Um,
What's weird? Everything I do is weird. So I feel like you're going
yes,
shade, but
yes.
what's up?
Okay, I say Raven is the reason why we're having this crossover episode. And this topic, basically, we were talking about on her Facebook. It was a quote from Carrie Hilson about her not wanting to live with her husband. I'm sorry, people. That is weird. If you don't want to live with your husband or your wife, don't get married. So
What the quote say? Quote sister Carrie.
the quote said, "I rather give me okay. I'm gonna put a word for word, so that way
Okay,
we don't have
give
no
us a word.
issues." Okay. Let me see. So you were talking about basically her valuing her me time.
Mm-hmm.
So she basically stated that she would rather have a separate home from her husband because she enjoys a lot of me time.
And I agree with sister Carrie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's go back. It exactly says, even if I were with someone, I still need me time a lot to point where I could probably live in two separate houses with my own husband. No,
And what's
no,
weird about that? Because I agree with sister Hilson.
you don't see
Miss Carrie, baby.
the weird ish in that.
No, what's strange about it? I feel like it's non-traditional. That's
No,
me. That's my lifestyle.
it's definitely non-traditional, but non-traditional and weird can be synonyms in some situations.
But what makes it weird? Because I completely agree
Okay.
with her. I feel
Yeah,
like as a woman, I do need my space. I need to protect my peace.
of
And you know
course.
what? Just because my partner doesn't live with me, but does that make us any more or less married? Does that make us any more or less faithful to one another? What does living
Not about the faith, not about the
give you?
being faithful. The issue I have with it, and again, you're here for your show's all about Christian base. So I'm going to take it the Christian side of it this time.
Ooh,
I'm
shut up.
taking that
Take the
Christian
thing then.
side. So when you get married, the whole point of being married is a unit, a unity. There are two people
Okay.
that now become one. Now, I don't know about anyone else, but I can't be in two places at once. So if I'm one with my wife, how am I one in a separate house than where she live at? If we're not one, we might well be
So
separate.
what would be the difference between, like, let's say somebody in the military or something like that? You all
There,
went in Germany for 2, 3, 4, 5 years.
that's not by choice. He didn't decide. Like, no, that's
No,
okay. That's okay.
how's that life? This ain't slavery.
He chose the life, but he cannot pick where he's sent to. You ask anybody in the army, they get deployment letters to where they gonna be. If they had to pick, I'm pretty sure they would pick to be in the house with their wife. Or
But at the end of the day, they still not there. I feel like I can still be equally yoked with my partner. We can still be one. We can still be a unit living separately. What do I have to see you for every day? I'm the type of person you don't know. I don't care if we were married. Even my mama, if my mama has to come live with me right now to this very day, I'm gonna need to be ducked off with somebody. You know, I feel like I'm easily annoyed. I'm easily irritated.
Then
I just need my time.
Then don't get married. I feel like people. No, but thing is also with that. I feel like a lot of time.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like a lot of time people get into these marriages not realizing like we'll all go into a marriage. Yes, maybe it's non-traditional to have your own separate house, but it's non-traditional. I find it weird. But in normal standpoint, if you meet someone like me who ain't gonna do that, you're not getting a fucking separate house. Sorry, people, you're not getting a separate house. If you want a separate house, then I'm not going to marry you.
But why? Because you don't
want to be with me all the time. Marriage is about being with me all the time. Marriage is about only wanting me. Now, granted, nothing to do about cheating. Because you're talking about being faithful or being equally yoked. What I'm saying is, if you cannot, being married is about accepting people for their flaws. It's about me not liking you and still be able to sleep in the same bed with you, still be able to talk to you, communicate, and make decisions amongst each other, instead of me having a whole separate house where I make my own house rules and come to your house and like I don't even know how that works. Like, sometimes I come stay at your house, or sometimes you come stay at my house. Like,
have you ever had a successful relationship where you all live separately?
Yeah, but we were dating. Dating is different than marriage. Marriage is a leap. It's a big, giant leap into a forever type of setting. And again, we become one. We are one.
Well,
so there's no way we're gonna be one if you in another house. That is weird. I'm sorry, that is weird. If any people out there listening, if you agree with me or Raven, please comment, tweet it. Do you think that is just weird to be married and live in 7 houses? I think it's weird. Raven think it's non-traditional.
It's non-traditional, but you know what? Everything in 2021 is non-traditional. Why? I don't want to live with you. And God, if it's meant for me to live with myself, please let me know now. But He already knows that I don't have the patience. He already knows that. So, or maybe give me a little tiny house in the backyard,
or get a room. I would substitute a room. I would say, hey, if you want a room in our house that I can't go into, that you need to get to me time at, fine. Go in your room. That's your room. I won't come in your room.
You would have to buy me a mansion. I need 12 bedrooms, multiple floors, a basement, an attic, all of that, because I want to be on the separate side of the house. If you make me mad and the devil might fall on me and I might lose my Holy Ghost, I might want to reach out and touch you. So it might be easier for me to be in a separate house.
My rebuttal to that, if you want a mansion, buy you one. If you want to live in a separate house, do that. If you by yourself, not with your significant other. Don't tell nobody to buy you a mansion so you can live on the other side of the mansion. No.
I just need my me time.
I'm gonna be like, I need me a separate house. Can you buy me that separate house? No, I'm not financing you not living with me.
Why not? You should be able to afford it if you're my partner. Because I know God's not bringing me nobody that's broke either.
It doesn't matter about being able to afford. It's a principle. Why would anyone? I'm sorry, not anyone. Me. Why would I buy my wife a house to not be with me in it? No.
Your wife needs space. You need to understand boundaries. Your wife needs space.
And she can have space. She want to take a weekend with her girls and go somewhere cool. Get out. Go
my own house. So if I want to drop my kids off with you and run off and do something, like, you need to
I can't do that. But again, everybody, please voice your opinion on that age.
Right. Let me know if you agree with me. Let me know. And if you're eligible bachelor looking to live in separate homes, let me know as well. Because obviously that's my problem now. I should have just put it out there to begin with. I want to live in separate homes.
Raven want to know if you're a married person that wants to also have a separate house with her.
No. That's a serious that's married. I don't want that type of drama. Have you read the Bible here?
I'm just saying, the only person that's going to be okay with
to marry me and live separately. Let me know. If you marry, you stay over there with your wife in the infidelity, because you're going to hell if you mess with a married person. Period. And that's how Mary had a little lamb. Infidelity? You don't sleep with nobody, husband or wife. Oh,
You
that's
gonna
something I
send
wouldn't wish on my worst enemy.
you gonna send somebody straight to hell just for cheating?
For
Just for
real. That's we might have crossover episodes too to talk about that. But yeah,
right.
I don't know how y'all feel about the living in separate.
Houses, married, living in separate houses. If you think that is weird, you on no friend the podcast side. If you think that's non-traditional and I just need my space, then you're on the outrageous tales side of this discussion. Please feel free again, comment, let us know how you feel about it. You know how we feel now.
Right.
So
Okay, y'all. So that was fun.
a little heated, a little good discussion for right now.
So one of the segments that's in my podcast is our outrageous church announcements. And we just kind of discuss what's going on in the world, anything that's going on with me. So everybody knows that we've been going through COVID. COVID just been crazy. It's been running rapid. And I know in Texas, actually this week, was it on Wednesday? We opened outside, open back up.
Yeah, outside is back open.
So with that being said, AM, since outside is opened, not even opening, since it's opened, are you wearing a mask? Yes or no?
Yes.
Are you getting vaccinated?
Probably not.
Period. No offense, and I'm sorry, Black people ain't doing that. I mean, my mom and dad wants to get vaccinated, which they're high risk people, so that's really gonna ease their mind, and I understand their stance. But young Black people, I know if I do get COVID, by the grace of God, I haven't gotten it, but I know I'm gonna shake back. I'm not letting the government put whatever it is in my body that's not even like approved by the FDA or whoever's supposed to be approved by. No, I'm not doing it. Period.
I've thought about it. I mean, I have older parents, so I have thought about getting it. I haven't made a final. Right now, I'm saying no, but my mind changes all the time. But I'm wearing. When I go out, I wear masks. Not as often as maybe not all the time. I'll be clubbing, but mostly when I go in, when I'm out, when I'm around a bunch of people that I do not know, don't know where they been. I have it on.
Yeah. Okay. And while we're on the subject of COVID-19, this past year was just crazy with like just having to recalculate our steps, reaccommodate our lives, just do our normal day-to-day tasks because we couldn't go to the club, we couldn't go out, couldn't go to the movies, couldn't go anywhere without a mask on. So I want to know, Ann, what was like the most outrageous thing that you've done during quarantine, or like what was just something that threw you way off, or a crazy moment during quarantine?
Vegas.
What happened in Vegas?
We went to Vegas and we had a great time. And what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
So what made the quarantine in Vegas so great?
Weed.
Weed.
Yes, it's very much so legal in Vegas. So weed. And of course, White Castle. White Castle. I actually tried White Castle.
You
But still, the most outrageous thing would probably Vegas. I've been really chilling, really in the house. Again, I've been losing weight, working out. We walking. I was up to walking 4 miles a day. That was pretty outrageous to start off with. I've been slacking since I moved to the outskirts, but losing weight, getting into the habit of working out, and then Vegas. Vegas was definitely the highlight of COVID.
Okay,
great time. And anyone that is pro marijuana, I feel like Vegas is a great place to go.
Okay.
You'll be able to try a wide variety of weed and a wide variety of edibles. And plus, there's a lot of other activities that, again, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas that we're not going to talk
about. Okay, I agree. Yeah. I plead the fifth with you.
Yeah, Vegas was just an experience. We're going to call that.
So for quarantine, for me, I mean, I did have fun in Vegas. A lot of fun in Vegas. This is something funny that happened to me during quarantine. So you know how you got to have a mask every freaking where. Yep. So one time I didn't have a mask. Yeah, I was in my car. We ladies in our car, we keep us like a little spend the night bag / overnight bag / just in case my eyelash fall off or something goes wrong bag. So
Whole bag.
I mean, I
I'm
went
sorry.
back
I'm
to
gonna
a
simplify it.
whole bag. They upgraded the name to a spend the night bag, actually.
But if you're hoeing, would you have this overnight bag?
What's hoeing?
You ain't gonna mean it. Okay, all right. My definition, the AM definition of hoeing is when you're out and about and you may want to fuck on somebody. It could be somebody old, it could be somebody new. So what you do is you keep a bag full of items that you may need the next morning from leaving from hoeing.
But
And
how do we get to that term? Because I feel
hoe,
like when somebody says hoe or hoeing, it has a negative stigma on it. But what I do with my body is my business.
well,
It's my
oh,
business.
I don't think hoe has a negative in like hoe is like bitch. And what I'm saying that is, let me tell you what I mean. Kind of you
I
like
don't
what
want
you
to be called
mean.
either.
You mean to tell me
Call me the daughter of Christ.
you ain't never been talking with your homegirl and she was like, bitch.
No, me and my homegirls do not do that. I think it's first of all,
Oh,
I try not to use profanity.
yeah.
Overall, I try not to use profanity. Sometimes I'll say hell, little stuff like that. But I'm never calling my homegirl a B. B, what you doing? Don't talk to me like that. Do I look like a
hell,
kind?
you that one out of like 50 people. Me
Okay.
and my homegirls, and I'm like almost a nigga out here. We be like, bitch, I got something to tell you.
Do you?
All the time. When it's some news, when it's some information that we didn't figure some shit out, when two plus two start equaling four, hell yeah, bitch, I got something to tell you.
Oh
All
my
the time.
God. Well, I know some people that do that, but I just don't do it. Me and my homegirls, we ain't calling each other the B word.
Oh yeah, me and my mom do it all the time. And I don't think any fit. It's the way you say it's what I'm saying about it, but that's what I mean. To get back on topic, hoeing and bitch, I feel like those are words that depend on how you're using it in the term is
Mm-hmm.
negative. Hoeing, when I mean that someone is hoeing, they could be single and not dating nobody. They could be like just dating a bunch of motherfuckers. I call that hoeing because technically with the old folk, they would call it hoeing because they
Right.
think you'll be with one person
I
even when
mean, and
you're single.
technically you are.
When you're married in the one house, that
Oh,
one
even
person.
if you know what? If I could go back in time and be a virgin, I would. Every day is a constant battle with these soul ties. I be looking at people from like 10 years ago, like, oh my God, and I still feel some type of way. If one of my exes call me up and be like, I got a new girlfriend, I'm be like, but it's the soul ties, and God's still working on me.
Okay, yeah, I don't know. No. So I
But
feel
you
like
know what? You just said that you a B, and you said you be hoeing, so of course you don't
whoa,
care.
whoa, 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 whoa. I never said that I was actually like a bitch. What I said was me and
Oh,
my friend use that terminology when it's like bitch, it's like a friend. It's no longer like a bitch. You know what I'm saying?
uh-huh.
It's how you say it. When I say bitch, that's my home girl, that's my friend. It doesn't mean an actual bitch. When I say hoeing, you just being single.
Can I get a
I
disclaimer?
never once said that I was hoeing. I might have said I might have been somewhat of a bitch with my friends, but I never said I was hoeing. Why would you do that?
Oh.
I'm not hoeing.
Well, I know I struggle with soul ties, and I be working on them. I be trying to fast them out, and I'm dealing with a soul tie right now, and I just really be trying to,
Now, I
and
mean, I used to be like that, but I've realized, like Maya Angelou said, when someone shows you who they are, believe them. So now on, so whenever someone shows me who they are, I
mm-hmm,
believe them. I accept them from that person. If you're a liar, you're a liar. What I'm gonna do
right,
is not believe nothing that come out your mouth. You and now, no one will ever know. I realize that people are in your life for a reason. This is also
mm-hmm.
this is the thing what COVID showed me. People are in your life for a certain reason,
I agree.
and you can't do everything with everybody. And the thing is, when I find out you're a liar, I'm going to always see you as a liar. Now that means
Mm-hmm.
treat you different or treat you ugly? No, of course not. It's just your word means your word is worthless. It's
Exactly.
worthless. Only your actions will I believe from then point on.
Mm-hmm.
So when it comes to like me like soul ties, I have learned that there ain't no such thing as soul ties. Only my soul only tied to God. and my family, and anybody else can kick rocks because I'm gonna always be tied to my family. We have the same blood, same DNA. I'm always, no matter what,
Yeah.
when we don't talk, you my family. Somebody can find that out right now from our from our DNA. We're family.
Yeah.
God and Jesus, of course. Why always tied. We we good. You know what I'm saying? But other people, snip, ho, you can get on. You can get going. Kick rocks. Keep it moving. Keep it pushing. We
I
should
need to work on that because,
rest.
or maybe I don't know. I mean, it be really hard for me to break my soul ties, and then every time it's hard. Every time I'm dealing with a soul tie, or like even right now, God just in over here. Like, I mean, I told you not to have sex with them. What you sleeping with them for anyway? Are y'all married? You just doing
Because it's
something.
hard. It's hard. It's
It
hard.
is, especially it's kind of like when you break that seal, you just all for it. Because I know, like for me, I was a virgin for a very long time. Then I started having sex, and I was having a lot of it. And then I went, and then sorry, mama too, because I know my mama listens
I
to
was
it,
sure
like
about to say.
probably heard all the B words and all the sorry, mama. I'm gonna actually tell my mama not to read, not to listen to this episode. I'm gonna remove.
My mom could actually listen to this one more than any other one. This is actually a better conversation, clean one, because usually the F bombs and
My
the
mama
F
finna
bombs.
be, ooh, she finna mail me some bliss oil. I bet you she mail, and she gonna ask for your address too. She gonna mail you some too. So, mama, please forgive me. But anyway, when I saved my virginity for a very long time, and then when I started having sex, I was doing it all the time, doing it and doing it and doing it well. And then for real, and it's not even that I was having sex with a lot of people. I was just doing it well with who I was doing it well with. And
Yeah,
then it's like I went from 2016 to 2019. I was completely celibate. And I feel like that's when I got in the best shape of my life. I was mentally, spiritually, psychologically just the strongest I've ever been.
yeah.
And then the devil slipped in, woo, in the quickness. And then, bam, I was back on it all day, every day, And I'm just like,
Hey, every day
and now I'm struggling with my celibacy now
you
because
have a problem. Like,
it is a problem, and I be asking God, like I'm laughing right now, but it's sexual sin, and it's a sexual
addiction, what it
desire
sounds
from
like.
the devil. Like, huh?
So you got a sexual addiction.
I do, and it's the devil. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when I broke that my celibacy, and I had my celibacy ring and my promise ring to God, and I was doing really, really, really good, and it's just like, bam, like.
Yeah, I realize me and God have a good relationship. I only make promises to God that I know I can keep.
I
When
mean,
when I became celibate, no, come on for me. When I became celibate, I didn't make that agreement with God. I made it with myself. So that way, when I broke it, it's like, okay, I did disappointed myself because But I agree with you. Being celibate, I've lost most of my weight because I've been celibate because
oh, you're celibate now.
Um, at the moment, I wouldn't say I'm celibate, but it has been a while. I was celibate for about.
We gotta go off the record with this because I was under the impression you were still celibate.
I mean, I am still celibate to
For
the
how many
degree
days?
Oh, that you wrong for that. It's been several months.
For a while.
It's been several months, but I'm not okay. I'm celibate in the sense that I'm not having active sex with anyone right now. But what I'm saying is that it has been a moment where my celibacy had been broken, and I started.
It's okay.
And I had to start it back.
Oh, okay.
So technically, I am. Secondly, I am celibate. I'm not.
I'm celibate too.
I'm celibate right now, but
me too.
I had like months when I almost made it. I almost made it to I wouldn't say a year. I made it past 6 months, which was a great accomplishment for me.
I'm learning something new, God. Okay.
I had made it past the 6 month mark, and then I think I almost made it like 7 months, and then end up slipping up.
Okay. Well, that's still good. That's still better than a lot of us, because I feel like I've been praying and like telling God that I'm celibate now for the season, and I'm really trying to hold on to my celibacy. And because I just feel like like how you said you lost weight, like you're really able to focus on you and your needs and your desires when you are celibate. Sex really like messes with your head. Sex had me out of thousands of dollars. Sex made me think I was in love. Sex told me I was gonna get married. I like ignored the signs.
Yeah, I feel like sex is at my discretion. Other people aren't.
Okay.
I can have sex with someone and not get attached. It's that simple. That's easy. That's really easy. But
If we have sex, we go together. If we have sex, we are
yeah,
engaged. If we have sex, we together. Period. I don't care. If you touch this, we together.
yeah, you that crazy people gotta avoid.
Hmm. We go
Because
together.
I'm sorry. Sex, I don't want to say sex means nothing, but sex can be meaningless. I can have
Definitely be meaningless.
I can have meaningless sex. I mean, I don't have to want anything else from you.
Mm.
I could actually want you to leave my house right after we finish. Or I would leave. Like, hey, I gotta go. That's what I mean by like I'm able to have meaningless sex.
Yeah,
But
I can't do that.
the issue with having was I can subtract the sex, but it is hard to subtract the person. It's hard to subtract people. It's
Mhm.
hard to, like you said, soul ties. I get that, but my soul ties weren't based off sex. I can get sex from anybody. My soul ties is more about like making actual connection. Like I actually vibe with the person outside of the bedroom. We cool. You like that's when you start letting. I feel like sex blinds you to the red flags.
Yes, for sure.
Like that I will admit to. It can be meaningless, but you'll let things go because we boning. I can let that go.
Yeah.
And it's that big a deal. We loving up on each other. It is what it is. That I feel like sex is blinding in my aspect, but I can have meaningless sex. I can literally have sex with you that you leave my house in a very polite way, like what you got to do next, or like hey I gotta go to sleep, like in a very nice way you got to get out. But yeah,
But even though it's just like that for you, it may not necessarily be like that for, the other person. You know what I'm saying?
that's why I said you that crazy person we got to watch out for. Because just because I'm boning you, don't mean I like you. What is it? Brent Fayez say the best. Just because I blank you, don't mean I want you.
Right.
Simple, simple. Just because I blank on you, sex on you, love up on you, that don't mean I
Yeah.
want you. I don't
But
want
but
you.
that's why I support celibacy and waiting for marriage. But back to my initial point, if I could have waited until marriage, I definitely would have. I feel like I done put myself in a whirlwind of hell because of sex. Like
I,
all of my downfalls in life, for the most part, have been sexually related or related to
okay,
me.
what downside? What flaw? Like what downside do you think that sex had on your life that would be completely opposite if you didn't have sex?
Just like how you said, like for example, my last relationship, I was completely celibate for 3 years. And then when her and I, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering. When her and I started having sex, like I said, during my season of celibacy, I was clear minded. I was strong and confident in who I was. There was never the insecurity. You know how you know me personally. There's always like doubt. Should I do A? Should I do C? B? All over the place. I was 100% like sure and certain in every decision I ever made. I was confident with my work, with my workouts, with my family, with my friends, everything. I had a plethora of friends, buku friends. And even with her, we had a good relationship. And it was like, soon as I broke my celibacy, the celibacy I had with God, everything just started like a downward spiral. And like you said earlier, you can, like sex blinds you a lot.
Oh
So
yeah.
I really like took that, like she was telling me she loved me and like the sex was really good and we were traveling and doing everything. And anytime we got into it or anytime I found out like that she was messing with somebody else, she used sex to make up instead of apologizing and saying, Raven, I was wrong. She used sex to make up with me. And it's
I
just
mean,
like, I went through,
sometimes that's a good way to make up.
I mean, it feels good, don't get me wrong, but it still doesn't fix the hurt. It still don't fix the pain. And I just feel like if I wasn't sexually involved with this person, I wouldn't have went through my depression, my anxiety. I wouldn't have went through any of that. Like I
Yeah,
can
I
see
feel
that.
that. But the thing is, you can't. Okay, you're saying that based off the fact that you did have sex, but You could have not had sex with her, and it could have went exactly the same way. You
But
could
I
have.
would have been clear in my mind, in my spirituality, in my relationship with God. I feel like when I started sleeping with her, I feel like there was no relationship with God anymore. And maybe that was just on me. It could have been.
You
I
feel like your relationship with her overclouded the relationship that you already had with God, kind of.
don't know. Definitely. And like we weren't equally yoked. She didn't I found out like a year into the relationship or whatever, she wasn't even a Christian. And I'm like, huh? And I've been sleeping with
Well,
you.
I was sure. I feel like you should have known a little bit. I mean, you should
I
have.
had no, you know what? I found out she wasn't a Christian. She posted a review of my podcast on Apple, and she was like, I'm not a Christian, but I can relate to the podcast and I like it. And I'm like, I called her. It was so embarrassing to me. I called her like, bitch, you not a Christian?
So, Paul, what did y'all talk about? If y'all never got like if that subject
You
never
know what?
came
I
up,
think it's just one of those things where if like I feel like black people all of our grandparents and parents, like we've all grown up in the church. So it's like we were able to identify, she was able to identify with Christianity. I'm not saying that she's an atheist or anything like that. She just doesn't identify with Christianity. However, she does have Christian beliefs and stuff like that. She just never blatantly told me, Raven, I'm not a Christian. And that just looked crazy. That looked crazy as hell to me.
sorry y'all. Y'all see me yawning. It's been a long day. I be out here hustling, but I'm
Okay.
listening to everything you say.
I
I
clocked
mean, I get.
4 hours for the man
And
today.
But it's like, I mean, I get what you're saying,
Yeah.
but and you know what? I can't knock you for that. I don't think I've ever dated anyone that long and found out something like that after
Yeah.
talking to them. But I definitely have found that information about somebody, and I'm like, so when were you gonna like let this, like, I don't know, tell me when
Okay.
was it gonna
Right.
be a conversation? Cause
Yeah.
that also some weirdish. We'll talk about maybe
It is. That is weird.
that be a
That is weird.
next episode. We're definitely gonna talk about that weirdish. But
Right.
yeah, I feel like you just have to like you have to talk about you have to be able to talk in a relationship
Yeah.
about the core value. Even you don't get everything out in the first few months, we got to get at least the core conversation has to be like your core
And
values.
that's what I learned from their relationship. Like, and with me going to therapy, that was one thing that my therapist brought to my attention. She was like, in any relationship, romantic, platonic, professional,
Mhm.
personal relationship, your values need to be at the core of that relationship. So I really, like, on my phone, I have my values, which is my spirituality, my relationship with God, my health and wealth, and my relationships with my family and friends. Like, those are my 3 core values. And it's like, if the person I'm dealing with or my friends are not aligning with my values, then we ain't got nothing in common.
So so you talking about your values and to touch back on, also watching your mouth when it comes to like language. How you feel about Kurt Franklin cussing at his son? I know we gonna lead into that because
Okay.
I love Kurt Franklin.
Me
I believe
too.
I believe of course him and every other major Christian artist cuss out their kids, and I'm not, and that doesn't make them any less of a Christian.
I ain't
I
gonna say
feel
they cursed them out for sure. Because
I
my
think it.
parents, they never cursed me out or cursed at me.
Well, that is amazing.
My parents don't even use profanity.
That's amazing. That is amazing. I feel like most black families, I'm gonna say most Christians cuss, and I'm not saying that in the sense of like they cussing somebody out and that, but it's a word. It's words. They're just words. That him telling his son how he felt were just words, and we all know as black people, his son did something. My mama ain't never ever cussed me out like that, but I have heard her cuss somebody out. Why? Because they deserved it.
Yeah.
Same with my dad. Same with a lot of people. My grandfather was a pastor, but I know he cussed. How? Because I'm pretty sure someone provoked him to use certain flavored words to let them know how he felt. The same way Kirk Franklin had let his son know
Yeah.
how he felt.
So personally, I don't think it was an issue. I feel like people put Christians, and that's the whole purpose of my podcast. People put Christianity on like this pedestal, or they say that like, see, ooh, Christians are hypocrites, and it's like, no. At the end of the day, we're people like everybody else. I'm Christian, and I curse a little. I'm Christian, and I fornicate a little every now and then. I'm Christian, and I hoe a little every now and then. AM voice, and I just feel like we need to stop saying that Christians can't do this, this, and this, because at the end of the day, we were born into sin. We're going to die in sin. Like, it just is what it is. Like, he did go a bit overboard. Like, he was, he was doing a lot. I will say that.
No. We don't know what that boy said. He did what I wanted to do on a lot of people, which is rile you up, get you
Okay.
all mad and angry. And then the second I trigger you to the point where I know you're going to say something, you start saying stuff, I'm recording.
Yeah.
He probably cussed his dad out. He probably said all type of negative stuff. But Kurt Franklin never going. Frank Franklin, he still apologizing to his son and say he still love his son. But he knows his son set him up, and that is so sad that your child that you love, that you have probably loved his entire life, even in his adult life, when he decided to live his own separate life, separate from what you have going, tries to ruin you by recording a very intimate conversation, a very heated, intimate conversation, but something that should have stayed between family members.
Exactly.
And then he followed it up when he didn't do enough, when no one cared. With he also physically abused me. You mean he gave you whoopings?
Right. Because a whooping ain't no abuse. Because if that's the case,
whooping ain't no abuse.
Okay.
I wish it wasn't a tech. I mean, in some states,
then his son 30 years old. And 33 years ago, or the time when he was growing up, that's when Kirk Franklin and the family was cracking. He was on tour and some more stuff. He didn't even have enough time to whoop you. He wasn't even at home in the 90s and early 2000s.
He probably why? Because if he's a disobedient grown man, he was a disobedient child, and he got the punishment for being a disobedient child. And that cussing out he got is a punishment you get when you're a disobedient adult.
Period. So, and then like, you mad because you got cussed out? Who ain't been cussed out? Like, who's tripping off that? And then it's like, because he's Kirk Franklin and he's a Christian artist, like, okay.
No, he gonna give you a tongue lashing that you deserve.
Exactly. And then it's just like, I mean, I'm not promoting cursing out your kids or cursing out anybody, because if you curse me out, I'm gonna cry in real life. So
you gotta get out your feelings.
No, I feel like, and I had this conversation with people I talk to and date. It's like, don't curse at me and don't curse me out, because maybe it's because I grew up in a household where profanity was not used. Like, I take an offense, even if you call me a B word, or if you say what the F, if I do something, you be like, what the F, I be like, like, I just can't do it. I'm too emotional. Don't curse at me or don't curse me out. I've gotten called a B word twice in my life. And like, when those two people call me the B word, our relationship ain't never been the same.
That's different. Okay. A relationship is different than like, okay, my mom has never cussed me out, but I've also never done anything to cause her to do it. But if she did, in the sense of something that I may have done to her to provoke her to that point, then that's on me. Now, a significant other should never get to that point. If we get to the point where we're cussing each other out, where I'm everything but a child of God and I'm this and that, then yeah, we shouldn't be together. I mean, you don't respect me enough to at least like walk away.
Exactly.
Same with like putting your hands on people, just walk away. I mean, I know it's hard. Granted, I've definitely been at the moment where I wasn't like I'll never hit a significant other. But sometimes I want to put my hands around their throat and just shut up. But again, never have. But you get to that point, people like rile you up, and like, I describe it as poking the bear.
Yeah, I agree.
You poking a sleeping bear. He's dormant. He ain't bothering nobody. And you said the things like, you said nagging. Yeah. And then when you get that reaction that you've been egging on,
right? Then
don't play victim.
Exactly. I agree.
Now, I'm not condoning putting your hands on people or cussing anyone out. But what I'm saying is, I already told one of my close friends, and she, I love her, but she has somewhat of a temper problem. Mm-hmm. But she never starts anything. She's always the person people pick with her. And I say, you know what? And then people get upset when she like takes it to another level. Yeah. And I'm like, I understand where you're coming from. You cannot do me wrong and then get upset about my reaction. Mm-hmm. You cannot do something to me and then be upset because I reacted to something you already had previously done.
Right.
That's the normal situation. If I feel like I'm being mistreated and I feel like you're like going hard against me, then defense mechanism, a lot of people are going to give it back. It's fight or flight. Like we're going to give it back,
Right.
so we're going to walk away.
I agree.
Yeah. But
my initial point, we ran off into like 3 different conversations. I was just trying to tell you, in my spend the night bag, I had a sanitary napkin. I had to use that for a mask one day.
I'm so sorry. Oh my god! So you had to use a sanitary napkin?
Yeah, that's what I was initially gonna say. I had to use a sanitary napkin as a mask because I didn't have one.
I can't talk. I use a sock.
A sock?
Yeah.
How you do that?
I had to take off my sock and like man, doing COVID. That's the most outrageous thing I did. I mean, I had just left the house. I had just left the house. I had went to the class. Well, they were on my feet, but I hadn't been like moving around. I just left my house to go to the beauty supply store. And the second I get there, I walk in and realize I ain't got no mask on. The dude like, you can't come in without a mask. I didn't have any masks in my car because I just ran out of my house. I was literally thinking, I can go to beauty supply real quick, come right back and do my hair.
Yeah.
Had to go in the car. Like it barely covered anything. It only covered like this much.
Did it stink?
No. What part of I just put?
Some people got fungus on their feet.
Hold on. So you think I have fungus on my feet? So
I'm just saying.
No, you have fungus. I don't have fungus on my feet. Actually, my feet are rather pretty.
Athlete's foot. That's what it's called. Athlete's foot.
I used to be an athlete, but even then I didn't have fucking athlete's foot. No, my feet are very, very clean and pretty, I would say.
Ooh, let me see your feet then.
No. No, people, Raven and everyone listening and watching, you cannot see my feet.
I mean, you said you have pretty feet, so shoot.
Yes, I have very, very pretty feet that will be hidden until the summertime. I'm at the pool.
Ooh.
Now they are very pale. They don't get much sun.
Okay.
But that probably leads to them being so pretty because they don't get much. They don't get like a lot of like they're not out and about. They just be chilling.
Ooh, I can't wait to see them. All right. So this next segment that we're going to move into of the podcast is something that I have on Outrageous Tales. It's at the end of every episode, towards the end, and it's called Pull Out Game Strong. Pull Out Game Strong. And we ain't talking the regular pull out that y'all nasty people thinking about. Pull out game.
All my listeners, not that one.
Not that pull out. We talking about the spiritual pull out game.
Yeah.
Basically, what Pull Out Game Strong is, it's going to be the contemporary version of testimony service. What has God done for you? His pull out game was strong. So do you got a testimony, or you want to talk about how God's pull out game was strong for you?
Oh yes. I mean, hey, again, I'm in a new place, new apartment. Nothing wrong with my last apartment at all. Shout out to my old roommate, you know what it is. But nothing bad. But again, like I was in a better mindset to live by myself. So he took me out of the mindset where I felt like I needed to because again, people don't know I live by myself for years, and then I was like, I got into a mindset and got like in a financial situation where getting a roommate was the best best option for me. So I decided to do it, and again that year, God again has I was able to work on myself, get my mind right, get my financials right, and now look at me now.
Oh, so his pull-out game was strong. It wasn't weak.
Yeah, I'm right here. I'm here. It was strong.
Hey.
I made it.
Hey.
Jesus, we made it.
Period.
Okay, what about you? What is your pull-out strong for this episode?
Let me see. So, who was that, Layla?
Yes.
She can tell how Game Strong was good for her. Shoot.
Apparently, she got some food waiting for her.
Good.
Sorry, y'all. I have a dog. For all you dog lovers, she's very rude and disrespectful. She don't give me no fucking space because she's right here.
Hi, Layla.
I
Hi,
get
mommy.
no me time. It's almost as bad as having kids.
Man, because rain. Whew. But
Almost.
my pullout game, my pullout game strong for this week. It just really goes to show that relationships can be mended. There was a time where I was going through a season of I was not messing with my mom and daddy. Period. I could not. I ain't gonna say I couldn't stand them, but we went through a season where I just wasn't messing with them because of like something that happened in the past. I just wasn't messing with them, and it went on for a while, and even now we're still working on rebuilding our relationship. But this past weekend my parents came down from St. Louis and we just kicked it the whole weekend. My parents, my brother, my aunt came down and we just kicked it in. It's like there was a time in my life where I felt like I would never, I ain't gonna say never, but there was a time in my life where I just did not want to deal with them. And I just thank and praise God that He allowed us to shake back in our relationship and just mend all the hurt and pain. And I feel like a lot of it had to do with me. And like when you piss me off, my heart will literally harden up, and I don't care who you are. And I just had to really pray and ask God to soften up my heart, and He really has softened up my heart for like a lot of people in a lot of situations. So God's pullout game was too strong this past week, and I just thank Him for the weekend I had with my family. So,
well, that's good. I feel like I get you saying. I feel like sometimes the relationship with families can be straining, and sometimes it can be our own mental block. Or
yeah.
in your case, your heart like was just it hardened because of past situations. But when we learn to let things go and realize people change, things are
Mhm.
made. Things are very, very, very different when you realize
Yeah,
that.
and sometimes it was just like all about my perception. Because sometimes I think about like a situation, and it's like if you think about like my parents are in their late 50s and 60s. They were just born in a different generation than us. Like a lot of the stuff that we go through every day, homosexuality, people being asexual, trisexual, everybody wants to be a video. I don't know. I'm just making up
Oh,
LGBTQ. Da da da. And,
trisexual.
you know,
No,
well, so
I don't
we're
know. Like me, I don't know. I don't know that shit.
trisexual. I think trisexual means you'll try anything sexual.
Now that's a real hoe.
But I made that up. But what I'm saying is their generation, they just weren't doing everything that we're doing. I feel like when my mama grew up, they were just sneaking, smoking cigarettes and having an older boyfriend. But look at like our generation, we doing any and everything. We on TikTok, we on what's that back page? We on what's that website called? OnlyFans.
OnlyFans.
We're doing any and everything, and we think it's cute and we think it's
Don't
attractive. So
hey, don't think our parents didn't do it. They just didn't have OnlyFans, Twitter,
I mean,
TikTok to show it.
okay, well, my parents weren't doing that. My mama was sneaking, smoking cigarettes and stuff like that,
You,
crazy stuff.
so
But
you
just
think your mama
our,
wasn't doing nothing when she was in high school before she
I mean,
fell
she
hard?
was, but the generation now, our generation is way ratcheter than our parents.
Our generation is more open. I'm not gonna.
Open and ratchet.
I'm never gonna say that my generation is worse than my parents. Actually, like being an adult and hearing the shit I'm sorry, y'all. Sorry, y'all. The old folks used to do, like my
Mhm.
aunts and them, like my aunt broke in this woman's house and beat her up because she was in the house with her boyfriend and husband.
I mean, who wouldn't have did that? If you in the house with my husband, when I'm at my house and I go pop up and you over there, I'm coming through the window too. God would just have to forgive me.
In 2021, you going under the jail system. She went home. She was able to go home. She didn't even get arrested.
Well,
You know what I'm saying? The only reason that they got away with why their stuff is so secretive, they didn't have Facebook to Facebook live it. Ain't nobody went on Twitter and tweeted it. No one went on Instagram and shit pictures and reels of it. This day and age, you can't do anything without someone recording you doing it.
yeah. I mean, I agree, but I'm still standing on the fact that our generations were different. So to a certain extent, like the things that we're doing, or even if it was like undercover or under wraps, we're publicly doing it. And it's just a different time. Like I just feel like sometimes my parents aren't able to identify with the struggles that I have. So they think that like I'm a sinner or something like that. But it's just like you just can't identify with the struggles that I have in 2021 versus the struggles you had 50, 60 years ago. You know, so a lot of it is just understanding our differences and learning to be okay and being able to like sit with our emotions and just
Yeah,
not even and take it with a grain of salt, you know?
yeah. I think being able to just like again let things go, move on, and realize that you are not going to agree with everybody. Again, this whole crossover happened because I didn't agree with your viewpoint of not living with your significant other. That's a weird viewpoint, but I respect your view on that subject.
Mm-hmm.
I just personally think that that is weird. If you don't want to live with me but want to be married to me,
I
that's just
mean, and God might change my heart. He might not.
you might meet that person that's gonna tell you the same thing I tell you. I'm not buying you no house and not be with me. I'm
And then,
about us a nice house. You can have you one little room.
then I might get engaged and be obsessed with them. Because typically when I'm like with somebody, I get obsessed with them. Like, Raven,
What
you ain't think I do all of that. I'm just obsessed.
do you mean by obsessed?
That's for another episode. Obsessed. Like I want to be in your skin all day, every day.
Oh yeah, you're clingy.
Yes. I
we
want to be
call
with my baby all
we,
day.
we call you clingy. We call you
Obsessed.
clingy. Clingy is okay every once in a while. Like some, I mean, everyone wants to be wanted.
Yeah.
So being clingy is cool once in a while. But how you gonna want to be clingy but then want your own space?
I
That's
don't
like
know. Cause I'm gonna be clingy until I get old. Then I'm gonna be like, go home, baby. Go home, baby.
something wrong with you.
It is. Pray for me.
Then we're gonna do y'all. Hey, and in the crossover, we gonna pray for Raven with her
Yes.
little struggles, and we're gonna pray for me because God ain't done for me. This was the least amount of cussing I've done on an episode, and I'm proud of me. This
Thank you for
season,
saving the cuss words for outrageous
yeah,
tales. We appreciate it.
season 2 of No Friend the Podcast. I'm gonna try to do less cussing.
Amen.
Mark my words on season 1. I
Yes.
will try to watch my mouth as much as possible until I need
Yes.
to use those flavored words. I'm gonna keep them to myself.
Okay. I touch and agree. Touch and agree. It's
There
only
we go.
touch and
There
agree.
we go. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. So you want to go ahead and pray or you want me to pray?
Oh, we
Or
definitely gonna let
tag
you
team?
pray. We're gonna let you lead the prayer on out as you normally do.
All right. All right. Hey, God. It's AM and Ray again. God, thank you so much for this first ever crossover episode. Thank you for allowing us to use the words and thank you for giving us the words to use for this episode, God. God, allow season 2 for each of us to be pleasant. Allow us to grow, allow our podcast to flourish, God. And God, I ask you to bless our listeners and those who support us, God. And God, like AM said, we are not perfect. God, just give us the strength to continue to walk this walk and to talk this talk, God. And if we don't do anything in our lives, God, just allow us to touch one person mentally, spiritually, physically, financially, emotionally, God. Just use us as a light for you. You got anything, AM?
Uh let this episode flourish. Let all of our episodes flourish, God. Again, want to thank everybody for listening. Want to bless everybody for listening. Those your ears. Um, other than that, amen.
Hey, shine, Lord.
Yes. Hey, and it's been another great episode of No Friend the Podcast. You know, it's been me, your girl, AM. You know, thank you for Ray from Outrageous Tales for
Thank
the
you.
crossover. It's been fun. Everybody again, thanks for listening. Peace.
Peace.